So, video game betas have been getting a lot of mainstream coverage these days. When it comes to multiplayer games, almost every major release goes through some sort of public beta phase. Some people will do almost anything in order to get into a private beta for a hotly anticipated game. But what's the deal with betas? What are they supposed to achieve? And more importantly, are they meant to achieve what developers say they should? Or is there a darker purpose to them? Hi, I'm Ethos, and this is De-beta-ble. Are betas really betas anymore? So let's back up for a second and clear up exactly what a beta is. In software development, a project goes through many phases. You'll have needs analyses, mock-ups, proof of concepts, and other activities that fall under what's known as the pre-alpha stage. During pre-alpha, the bulk of the creation process takes place. Most of the hard work happens here, folks, and this is kind of where my game Leap is at right now. So once all that crunch is behind the development team, we get to move on to the alpha stage. Now, the alpha stage is the first phase where the software is tested against a list of things that it's been designed to do. The software may be feature complete at this point, or major features could still be missing. During the alpha phase, the software goes through testing internally in the company by specifically trained people. At the end of the alpha phase, the feature list and the scope of the software is usually frozen and considered feature complete. After this, we begin to get into beta stage. The software now has all of its features it's supposed to, but there's probably heaps of bugs that the testing protocols in the alpha phase missed. One of the reasons for this is that software developers don't think the same ways users do. So often they'll miss things that users might do which may cause a crash or some other serious type of bug or glitch. Betas can come in two flavors, closed and open. Closed betas are by invitation only, and open betas are open to anyone who's interested. When we take part in a beta test, we're expected to find bugs and report them so that they can be fixed. When the publisher is happy that the flood of bug reports have turned into a trickle, the beta will then end and the gold master will be created from the final code. That's when the software is put out to buy as a finished product. It's quite a process, that's for sure. Beta testing is, however, a necessary thing, especially in gaming. You could argue, thanks to the proliferation of day one patches, that more publishers should take advantage of public beta testing. That way they can test their software far more thoroughly with many different users and many different hardware configurations in the case of PC gaming. Single-player games don't seem to get a lot of open betas the way that multiplayer games do, however. Of course, they are still beta tested, but not widely with many people. But today I really want to focus on the real phenomenon that we're talking about when we say beta are these big multiplayer game betas. There have been a lot of betas for games like Overwatch that have included massive player bases, making these games some of the most rigorously tested software in the world in theory. Now, I've played my fair share of betas over the years, and I've started to notice an odd thing about them. Many of the games, especially from larger studios, don't really change all that much from the launch of the beta to the point where it closes. Sure, bugs get discovered and fixed, but the state of multiplayer games that enter into open beta are now so good that I find it hard to believe that they aren't ready to release with some patching in the first few days or weeks. Oh, they say that part of the reason is that betas in multiplayer games is to help us load test the servers, but can anybody point out a single big multiplayer game that hasn't had its servers tank in the first week or two of launch, despite having a beta? I'm looking at you, Overwatch. Betas from big and small studios are so different that it's not even funny. The most recent beta I've experienced where it feels like we're making a real difference as testers is with Paragon, a new MOBA from Epic Games. Okay, so Epic isn't a small developer, but they aren't exactly as big as EA either. It's clear that the open beta they're running is really something they need to make Paragon into a good MOBA, so that it can compete with League of Legends or Dota. When I was visiting their studio this past week, the question of it being ready to enter open beta was brought up, even though the person asking felt that there were still some key features missing. The devs immediately responded strongly, stating that this was a true beta and not a demo, and over the next couple of months they plan to prove it in the next upcoming updates. While I can't tell you exactly what these things are due to me still being under NDA, what I can say is Epic definitely has a lot of fundamental changes they plan on bringing to the game based off of player feedback. This is what I consider to be a true beta. However, if something like that is a true beta, then what are these other things? Now, call me cynical, but I strongly suspect that a lot of betas, whether open or closed, have become more about marketing and hype generation than they are about software testing and improvement. Don't get me wrong, betas have always served some sort of marketing function, but in the past it's been a bonus and a secondary aspect of beta testing. Now, invitations to closed betas are sold or used as incentives to buy other games. Many players see it as a way to play a game before anyone else, and in the case of closed betas, the artificial scarcity they create makes people who are left out in the cold desperate enough to pre-order or day one purchase the game. Hell, even right now you can see that betas are blatantly being used to sell game pre-orders. The way that I see it, a lot of big name beta releases aren't really betas at all. They're demo previews of the game meant to get people excited, released under the guise of beta testing. The purpose of a demo is to give people a good idea of what the final product will look like, but the concept of the game demo has been essentially dead for years now. Finding an honest-to-goodness game demo is pretty rare these days, even for mega releases. Now hear me out, maybe, just maybe, it's been resurrected as an Insidious Fox beta release. Let me know if you played any betas that felt like they were just basically finished games, or real betas where you really saw things improve dramatically thanks to the help from beta testers. Hey, thanks for getting to the end of my video. If you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like? And like I said, comment below, and if you really like my content, check out my other videos, and maybe subscribe. A lot of people have been hitting me up on social media asking for my thoughts on the Titanfall 2 technical alpha. This was a video I wanted to do before that, but I definitely plan on the differences between Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2, as a huge fan and veteran of the first game. But until then, I'll catch you guys later.